Hi. Unlike my previous videos, this one I have written and I am reading it out because I thought in that way it will have a little more cohesiveness, or I don't know, some structure you will get. Extempore talk will know it goes digressing many times. So today I am talking about human experience. What is human experience? If you ask anybody about his life experience, he or she will probably, not probably, all the time, will start a story with the birth of his body. He will say, I was born on such and such time, at such and such place. So, all human experiences are basically bodily and mental sensations. But apart from this, if you scrutinize their story, you can see every one of them have some commonalities among all of them. Every other person you meet in your life will have three or four invisible instruments attached to their bodies, so to say. The first one is an invisible filing cabinet attached to their shoulders. Whatever that comes to their knowledge or experience are analyzed, named, and categorized and placed at the appropriate hole in the filing cabinet, or you can compare it as a pigeon hole, or maybe in railway mail service, there is some box where different letters are put in different boxes destined to go in different places. Because every other experience has to be, named. You cannot leave it unnamed and unnamed and uncategorized and all that. Unknowing is uncomfortable for the eye. So after knowing, he will ask what next. This what next continues. He goes on, analyzing and categorizing and putting in pigeonhole. That is the first one. Then you will have an invisible instrument box and some papers and all that too invisible in their hands, to work out how the things, persons, and circumstances they experience in life can be converted for their personal advancement, advantage, or growth. What is there for me? All the time that is the thinking. Let it be anything, anybody, whatever be the circumstances. What is there for me? Basically, fundamentally. And figuratively, I am telling paper sheet and all that. Basically, that is you will see 99.99% what is there for me. That is. Finally, all of them will have an invisible straw in their mouth to suck in as much pleasurable experience as possible during their journey in the time and space. Metaphorically, figuratively, I am telling. Okay. Now, why this is happening? See, all this is happening due to a small initial mistake of identification with body and the creation of a false I inside the body. Most people think They are sitting inside the body and leading a life in time and space. It is not a very innocuous belief. It is a very complicated structure of belief. The whole structure can be compared to that of a prison cell, my favorite metaphor. Somehow I like that. The roof of the prison cell can be compared to this false eye. This roof is an old-fashioned tiled roof with four sides. It's not simple. There are four sides or aspects to this false eye. The first one is basically, body identification and a false eye. But this false eye cannot exist without other false eyes sitting in other bodies around him. For example, you started your life with your birth. For taking birth, you need parents. They are not eyes. They are not you. They are not eyes. Then this false eye will also require other bodies with other eyes. Some to love, some to hate, some other people to be utilized, some other to be exploited, and a host of other things. You know how much important it is to have other eyes around you. Other eyes around you, you cannot exist without other bodies and eyes. Other bodies with eyes out there. It's very important. That is the second side of the four-sided roof. So, the creation of other eyes in other bodies are as integral to the false eye as its own bodily identification. From your own experience, you can see how important it is to have other people in your life. Without them, there is no real existence for you, the false eye. The third side of the roof is other things, physical. That is the material world. You cannot imagine yourself without a material universe. So the material universe is also an essential component of the false eye. You cannot imagine you and your people without a material universe or world to inhabit in. The fourth side of the roof is called knowing. Knowing is basically knowledge and experience. Your science, arts, spirituality, astronomy, astrology, there's a host of branches of knowledge. This is the fourth part. And you may think it is different from you. No. You cannot exist without knowing and experience. You cannot exist if you don't know that you exist fundamentally. That knowing is also part of false eye. And that primary knowledge of knowing yourself is also not enough. You need to know about other false eyes. You need to know about the other material universe. And you will have to have some experience and knowledge so that you can create a unique and exclusive story of yourself. You see how important these four aspects are. You see, all are interlinked. A body with a false eye, then other bodies with false eye. In a material world to inhabit these two, and the knowledge about these three. It is not very simple identification with the body. You cannot exist without the other three. You struck down any one of them, you will disappear. False eye is not a simple thing. Okay, now we have constructed the roof of the prison. And this roof will need some four walls to stand, and this roof stands on the four imaginary walls called time, space, memory, and imagination. The four-sided roof of the false I cannot exist without the four walls of time, space, memory, and image. And if you critically examine, you will find that all these four walls are nothing but mental constructs, having no reality of its own, just like the false roof of false I. So now we have seen the roof, we have seen the four walls. What is remaining? The base. And the base or the foundation of the present self is desire or seeking. The whole edifice is based on seeking. If you look at the behavior of any human being, if you examine the behavior of any human being around you, you will find the basic driving force is desire, which I call the fuel for the false I. It can be money, it can be sex, it can be power, name, fame, social service, property, wealth, religion, self-utilization. There is no end to the list. It depends on the imagination. You can imagine anything. So this is the whole story of human existence. Now, there is nothing wrong in this whole drama of human experience. I am not finding fault with anybody or anything, provided it is understood as a present self and master the art of entering and exiting from it at will. Then the present becomes a beautiful home. The basic difference, what is the basic difference between a present self and a beautiful home? The basic difference from present and a home is nothing but the freedom to enter and exit at will. If you don't have the freedom to come out of your home, it virtually becomes a prison. This is the tragic predicament of human experience. Thank you.